Well, what's the crack, everybody? How are you getting on? Welcome to another episode of the Tom O'Mahony Show. It is Friday, the 2nd of September. Just, I don't know, lads. Apologies. There's a fella tearing up and down. We talk about 5 feet, it feels like, from the office right now. So if you do hear a tractor, I mean, it is quintessentially, you know, my vibes. New show out. We had, of course, this is from the live podcast from the weekend just gone. So thank you very much, everybody that came to that. We had a great night at it. Brand new addition to the Taken Off calendar is going to be the Excel Theatre in Tipperary Town. I'm very excited by that. So if you want to come see the show kicking off in November, have a click in the link below. Pretty much everything is in the link below. Everything's there. Tickets to the Hill. I think there's 15 tickets left for the end of September with Bernard O'Shea. So there you go. I think there's 15 or 16 tickets left. Jump on it. I'm going to be there. There's, I think, 12 left for my one in November. So again, jump on it. There's everything else in there from pods, new pods. So we're on our 3rd episode of Banana and Bear Rugby Podcast with myself and Anna Capeless. We're going to be doing we're leading in and all the way through the Rugby World Cup, but as well as that, we're going to be doing short little versions, short little 15-20 minute ones. I think they call them vignettes. I sound like a bollock saying that. So little audio tutorials on what rugby is, keeping it light and good crack, but at least so you know what you'll be talking about down the pub some bit. Even if you don't know, you'll have the right terminology, and at least it'll start to make a bit more sense, because it's going to be a big one. Do you know what I mean? As well as that, we are up to 9 episodes into the Tom and Jerry show, so we're going to wait till 10 and then we're going to start releasing them. So that's just a week and a half away. The Tom and Jerry show is coming back, season 7. So there you go. There's absolute acres of stuff for you to be listening to in relation to with me involved. Of course, you can become a Patreon. They got it Wednesday night. They got it ad free. I've been told the ads. I'm going to try and contact the hosting crowd and see can they turn down the ads. Apparently, the ads are vile. They just come on real loud. So I apologise for that. If you do hear them, it's up to yourself. But you know, if you're used to ads or whatever on podcasts, but you can become a Patreon for $3 a month. With that, you get the ad free content, you get the videos, and you get the early access. You also get the live podcasts that we do every couple of weeks, and very importantly, you get the midweek ramble pod only for Patreons. So there you go. That's all for you. So moving on to today's guest, of course, you know who it is. It is my very, 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 very good friend Chris Kent. We were gigging 3 times together over the weekend. This was just one of them. It was great crack as part of the Cork Podcast Festival. Sound started going all over the place at certain times, but I'm after getting it pretty much consistently right. So I wasn't in charge of it. I brought my own gear. I'm just saying I wasn't in charge of it, but still all the same, with great crack. Big gang of people showed up. It was absolutely beautiful. So sit back and enjoy the live podcast with Chris Kent.
The host of the Tom O'Mahony Show, Tom O'Mahony!
How are you all? Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Fair fucking play to you on a Friday evening. Give yourselves a round of applause, everybody. Very welcome to, of course, the Tom O'Mahony Show as part of the Cork Podcast Festival. I'm Tom O'Mahony, because that'd be fucking weird if I was somebody else, but fair play to you. If you're brand new and you haven't heard of the podcast before and you're coming because of the guest, that's completely understandable. There's a fucking rake of episodes there, so go have a listen if you want. It's all the kind of shite you're about to see, and I think Chris shows up about 17 times during it. So without any further ado, would you please welcome to the stage one of the finest gentlemen I know from Cork and from anywhere in the country. It's Chris Kent, everybody! There you are, mate. There you are. There we go. Okay. Fantastic stuff. As we said, we wouldn't do any crowd work because you all came up right up the front. Fair fucking play to you. But don't worry. You can just watch in as we chat away to each other. So, hey, thank you very, very much for coming.
Thanks for having me, Tom. Let's have to go off again there.
I was sure looking. Look at this. That's a pro outfit now.
Yeah. Hello.
There we are. We're back on.
Fair smooth altogether.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
How long? It's 14 years since we met each other first, and never once had a falling out.
No.
And that's odd things for comedians. You don't realise That is an odd thing for comedians to never once have a single fucking falling out.
Yeah, 14 years would it be? Crack house back in the day.
Genuinely, there was a comedy club that I cut my teeth first in a place called the Crack House. It was in the bar. It was called LV over in the McCurtain Street.
McCurtain Street.
Do you remember it?
Did you go there? Did you? No way.
That's where
Did you watch gigs there, like? Did you?
You're too. Yeah. That's my older sister shouting over there, by the way. That's. There was a breakdancing. Okay, all right.
I'd have entered if I known that.
I'd feel fucking secondary now if we started just telling dick jokes in the back of the LV. But in all fairness, and this is for the insight when you go on long distance drives with people, comedians. And there's a lot, there's probably 8 on the scene, that the first thing you sit in, you literally sit into the car and they don't say hello, they don't say, geez, class, we've a long fucking drive. The first thing they go is, do you know who's a cunt?
Yeah.
And Chris Kent has never once come up, ever. I bet I have. But Chris Kent, you've stayed between the ditches.
Yeah.
Is it a kind of an undertone of fear you think you put in people, or are you genuinely sound?
I hope it's a bit of both. I don't know. I'm happy. I'm happy no one thinks I'm a cunt. That's great. But I think someone does out there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, statistically, somebody does.
My mother's called me a cunt a few times. Like, you know.
Don't worry. The word is going to keep being said throughout the hour. But you're just back from Edinburgh. You're like your 115th time in Edinburgh at the Fringe Festival.
Yeah.
Good time this time?
Great time. Do you know the Edinburgh Festival, yeah? It's brilliant, yeah. It's I was there, I did half the run this time. I'm doing a half at next year. Like, you know, like I'm warming up, like I'll take a half now and a half later. Just to get myself back into it, like.
So what was the thought? Because typically you are Mr. Edinburgh, like you'll do the full month. Anybody want, like the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, is comedians take a show over there and run it every single fucking day, and they come back and it's polished and it's ready to take on tour back in your home country. But you went 2 weeks. Did you bring the family and everything this time?
Yeah.
Mr. Family.
Always bring them. I don't stay in Edinburgh at all. I stay outside Edinburgh, a place called Dunblane. Family are there every day. Because first couple of years in Edinburgh I took it very seriously. Fear seriously altogether. Just in there, living with other comedians, no offence, like, but fuck me. Living with other comedians, how's your show? It never stops. 24/7 comedy. Like, you know, I'm over here talking about comedy now. But do you know what I mean? Like, it never, and it's hard. You're in a bubble. You're walking down the street, there's posters everywhere of all the other comedians, and I love Edinburgh, but the whole fucking all the comedians. It gets a bit much, like.
Yeah, no, I get it.
A few people saying I'm a cunt now after this.
Yeah, no, 100%. Oh, fucking hell, I lived with him. He was sound for a month. Fuck's sake.
I was sound, but it is hard, man. Because when I was drinking over there as well, you're drinking a lot. You're having a great time. You're having a party. You know what I mean? Whereas when you're with the family, then you're like, fuck it, I'll take a handy, like.
You got to keep it on top, because you famously got an awful dose of Edinburgh.
Yeah.
One time.
I did.
For anybody who's wondering, is that I can hear my sister over there louder than anybody else. You know, she's a lecturer. She'd chew you out of it now if she heard you talking at the back of class.
Right. So she should know better.
I fucking know she should. Summer holidays, that's what happens. But for anybody who's never heard of the story of your dose of Edinburgh, dose of Edinburgh is a real thing, like.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And you caught it fair fucking bad.
I did, yeah. But I mean, it is a fair thing. But people that have real jobs, like, it's nothing to you, really. It's like people be going, oh, it's really hard. Yeah, I have to do Edinburgh. I have to do a gig every day for an hour. You know, like, people have got jobs. They do 12 hours a day on a building site, and I've been those people as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard, but also it's hard. The more seriously you take it, the harder it is. And I took it very seriously the first couple of years. That's why it's hard. Whereas now I don't fucking care. I just go and I do it. I have a great time. A family holiday, doing stuff with the kids just beforehand. Go and do the gig. Come home. That's all you're in control of, is doing the gigs, having a laugh. Do you know what I mean? Like, so there's no point in getting wrapped up with everything else.
But what is that brings on Edinburgh? Because I got a bit of a dose of it the first year as well. Is it stress?
Well, I got the mumps.
Okay.
That's what. But it was Edinburgh. It was mixed in with Edinburgh, like, you know. But what brings it on is you're in small, sweaty, horrible rooms. People sweat dripping off the ceiling. There's 20 fucking, do you know what I mean? There's 20
yoga
shows going on a day inside your room alone. You're shaking hands with everyone. You're mixing a lot. Edinburgh's a kind of a grimy fucking place anyway. And then people are just getting stressed out because they're working too hard, and then everyone just gets sick, you know. So that's it.
So give Edinburgh a miss during August, lads. I would have told people to actually go to your next show, but it sounds like
fuck that. Go to the tour because it's finished then, and it's great.
Go to the tour where
it's great crack.
Money's going to be made. Exactly. But you're like
Edinburgh costs you money, by the way, so that's maybe do go actually. Edinburgh costs you money. Like the comedians are the only people in Edinburgh that don't make money. I don't know if anyone knows this, but they're the only people over there that don't make any money. Like, you know, you'd be very lucky to make money over there, as you know.
It's not.
Some people come home in 15 grand's worth of debt because they believed their agent said, okay, their agent was like, okay mate, I tell you what we need 75,000 giant posters, don't worry, we look after it. But by what they say they look after it is, we're going to charge you as soon as the month is finished £15,000 for posters. Like, in your right mind, would you ever pay £15,000 for posters to get posters put up? No. You're playing in a 30-seater venue. If you sell it out every fucking day, you may have paid for 2 posters. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you need to be seen. You need to be fucking, and they'll get. We need a PR company. That's another $5,000, and they're all like kind of. And I know loads of people. There's loads of comedians I know, and they're still to this day they're in debt because they did Edinburgh once or twice with a big company, and they came home $25,000 in debt. Honest to God, no, mental money. Someone said to me,
25.
I swear to God, someone said to me, they were going, I'm doing Edinburgh, and they were like, I think I got a good deal. If I sell all my tickets, that's 100% of tickets for this is 28 days in a row, I'll only owe them $5,000. The start of that sentence was, I think I got a good deal. And I think he did, compared to some people, but I don't pay for any PR, any posters, anything like that. I just go there to try and write a show. And do you know what I mean? Get people in myself.
And the reality of it is, if you were going there business-minded, it's the worst idea of business-minded. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. There's 10,000 other fucking comedians selling the same shit.
Yeah.
And you land on going, mine is different.
Yeah.
Mine is different. Yeah. It'll be perfect.
Yeah.
But because you, like, I saw you put a post up the other day, and this is kind of it's hilarious, like the rise and rise of Chris Kent. I meet people now. You're playing my club tomorrow night. We're like a comedy couple. We played
weekend
Blarney
together.
last night. We're here tonight, and we're back in
all the highlights by Blarney, Karen. In the 1 year, like, fucking hell, in the 1 weekend, man. We need to slow
Vegas
down.
of South Tipperary.
We need to slow down. It doesn't get much more rock and roll than that.
It doesn't. We're going to snort and coke off the bottom of a tractor later on, so it's going to be
Tower on a Thursday. There on a Saturday.
It's hilarious that I talk with people now, and they're like, "Oh, I'm a huge fucking Chris Kent fan, and you're a Chris Kent fan." And I'm going, are you sure? They went, no, 100%. I'm like, when did you last see? Oh, I've never seen him.
Yeah.
Never seen him. And they talk like, they're going, yeah, sure, he just came on the scene. I'm like, motherfucker, he's been doing this he's been class forever. There's this ridiculous notion of the overnight success that people think you are. It's like, are you joking me?
Well, I'm doing it 18 years or something, 19 years.
19 fucking years.
Yeah, something like that. What age am I now? Yeah, 18 years.
Yeah,
give or take.
An overnight success, so by the sounds of things, yeah.
Yeah. Give or take an old pandemic, like, you know.
But because in all fairness, this my mic is shitting the bed now as well.
Great.
We might just the great thing about comedians, we have few great qualities, but when tech shits the bed, we just shout. That's it. It's embarrassing to show up sometimes and people go, do you want to do a sound check and check it out? And we're like, does it? No. Is it on?
We probably should have done a sound check now, thinking about it. I said no. I needed a charger for my phone.
He fucked up for a charger.
Yeah.
I tried to do my best Cork accent into that one. I fucking broke it. That's what happened. Yeah,
right.
But in saying that, I want to quickly get to because we only got to chat briefly last night. But when I get to the bottom of how is that perception now in people's heads? Because I'm sure a lot of people here give me a cheer if you've known Chris for more than 10 years. Cheer if you've known him for more than 5 years.
Okay.
Okay, so we got about half the room are relatively recent people.
Yeah.
So the rise and something you never did, and I took pride in that. I was like you, that I didn't do the sketch comedy thing. I did because I didn't have it in me. I didn't have the will nor want to fucking do it.
Neither did I.
I just kept on wanting to go. Can I do stand up? And you just fucking come see me. That's it.
Yeah.
I've no business acumen when it comes to it at all.
Yeah.
And you were kind of similar, but then all of a sudden, like you put up a post the other day saying you jacked your job in a year ago.
A year ago today.
That's
it. Well, just about a year ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shitting myself I was telling them about it. Because it took me back after 10 years and I was like, fuck it, I don't know if I can give up on them now, you know? But I had to.
You think about that, you go off, you quit what you're doing right now, and you go off chase a dream for 10 years, and then all of a sudden you go, fuck, can I come back?
Yeah.
That's literally
I had
it.
to go back to them, yeah. They gave me back the job, to be fair to them.
As a Sparks?
Yeah.
Fuck.
10 years old of a bike. An old gap in the CV, let's say.
Even as I said Sparks there, I genuinely saw people's eyebrows raising going, oh, I wonder would he wire the extension at home?
Yeah. Dad will never leave, man. I don't care how well the comedy goes. I'll have some arsehole asking me about a socket in his porch. You know what I mean? It wouldn't matter, man. You could be the new host of the Late Late and they'd be like, no. I was wanting to put a Christmas tree in the porch, actually.
I swear to God, there's at least 50% of the crowd went, yeah, no, I have a job for him, all right, yeah. I have a job for him, all right.
Yeah. And the people that fucking pay you nothing as well, you know, the people that like you're turning up with gear and everything and they're going, oh, thanks a million, and they're just looking at you like, you know, you're like, it cost me to come here. I purchased the sockets and the cables.
That was just like telling jokes.
I spent 5 hours in your house. Thanks. I know your mother. That's about it, like, you know.
So what I'm trying to do is make this fucking microphone work.
Yeah. We share a microphone.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it my voice?
I'd say we'll never be back to this club anyway.
No. Oh, I'm actually doing a spot here later on. Actually, when the club kicks off. What I was trying to get around to is what I was trying to get to the long and short of was that. So you jacked the job in a year ago. You've been at this 18 years, but still to this day, only a quarter of the crowd probably have heard of you beyond 5-year mark.
Yeah.
What the fuck did you do in the last year that has made people now know how good of a comedian you are and sell out your fucking tour? Like, your tour is practically sold out right now. What did you do? What's the secret?
I hate giving her the credit, and I'd never give her the credit to her face, but it was actually my wife. She told me to give up my work. She told me to give up the job. She was there, give it up, Chris, and put up a video every single day if you can. Put up all your fucking stand-up online, put everything up. And I did it, and I put up videos every single day for about a month and a half, and then I started getting a bit of growth online. So it was really Neve's, it's down to Neve, yeah. You know, don't fucking tell her I said that, alright? Because I'll never hear the end of it, like. So it was her genuinely, like, I mean, I did try, but I was always putting out videos, but the way it started changing now, like, TikTok, man, the Chinese, God bless the Chinese, they're like, you know, their algorithm is like, we'll fucking show it to everybody, whereas before, it was Facebook, and even if you have 1,000 followers, oh, pay me money and I might show it to fucking half of them, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas TikTok then was like, here, look, I threw a video on TikTok and it was like, oh, fucking 500,000 views in a day or something. Like, I never got anything like that before. But TikTok, and then Instagram and Facebook started copying TikTok, so that's kind of, it was a bit of that, the new social media platform, and it was also a bit of like, it was definitely my wife going, give up the job. It was her, yeah. She was like, give up the job, but at the same time, she was like, if you're giving up the job, your fucking comedy's your proper new job, you're going to launch into it and do stuff every single day. And then that's what I done, and that kind of paid off. New microphones.
Are we back? We're back.
Someone's on putting a bit of sellotape on this one.
Hold on, I might need the sellotape you 1 second. Class.
2 microphones, do I? Hello?
No.
Which one do I talk into?
You've got one fucking paperweight and you've got one microphone, but
That's one.
There we go.
Yeah. The sellotape didn't work, lads.
That's official comedy club sellotape as well.
Fucking sticky tape, I didn't work at all.
So Niamh is to thank. Your wife.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, like,
fine Tipperary woman too. Fair play to her.
She is from Tip, to be fair. Yeah.
Because in fairness, you went after it and whatnot, and like, has it been? What was there a moment when it started selling out where you went fucking right?
Yeah.
All right. Is there a kind of an imposter syndrome? Keep going. Jesus.
Absolutely no imposter syndrome there.
Perfect.
Fuck that. Long time coming, doing it 20 fucking years. Do you know what I mean? What's the opposite of imposter syndrome? I don't know. That's fucking what I have. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's about fucking time.
So, but during the lockdown and all, we were told we weren't allowed to tell jokes ever again.
Yeah.
And you went
That was tough.
That's fucking tough. And all of a sudden, one morning, we all had 100 gigs pulled on us.
Look, I was in England. I was on my way to the train station. I was coming back here to tour. Do you remember the pandemic, yeah? And I was in the middle of a tour then, and I thought it was on the way up. Like, I mean, I had the Everyman, I had Vicar Street. There were my big gigs, and I had another couple, and I was heading home. I was in the fucking... At the time, the whole talk was anything over 500 is being pulled, lads. That was the rumour at the time.
Yeah.
So I only had 2 gigs really. I thought, I'll lose the 2 of them, and that's it. Like, and then I was on my way I was living in London, and I was on my way to I was in the train station actually, and Leo made his little speech over in fucking Chicago.
Tramp.
And next thing, my agent texted me and was like, "There's no point in coming home. Don't bother coming back." I was flying to Ireland that weekend for shows, and he was like, "Everything is pulled," and I was like, "Sure, yeah, be a week or 2 anyway, like, you know, before this thing blows over." But I'm being honest, I fucking loved it in the beginning. The Corona thing.
Yeah. It was great in the beginning.
When I started getting a bit of money over there, and I was like, it was lovely sunny weather, not working, loads of time with the family. But then after a while, it was like, fuck it, is this comedy shit ever going to come back, like, you know?
So you go back, you move back to Ireland with the family.
Back to Ireland.
And then you wind back the clock. You become Sparks again.
Yeah, 10 years out of it, man.
Let's say six months into being a Sparks, steady wage coming in, not fighting for every fucking penny, invoicing people on a weekly basis, fucking hunting down gigs, hustling.
Yeah.
You're actually now PAYE, somebody's giving you cash for just showing up to fucking work.
Absolutely.
No fighting
Every
for your money
Friday.
anymore.
Yeah,
was there a moment where you're kind of going,
that was nice.
Fuck it, this is alright?
Nice. Yeah, I have to say, no, that was nice. Also, I was very worried about going back. It's 10 years out of the trade. Electrician is a fairly vast trade as well. Like, there's a lot in it, like industrial electrician and pharmaceuticals and stuff. And I was really worried about it. And then I met some of the fellas that never even gave up, and they gave me hope again, you know. They were coming up to me asking me questions, and I was like, are you fucking serious, man? I was kind of nervous, and I was like, holy fuck, man, there's some bad fuckers out there. I'm like, how are you alive? Would you not try something else, you know? These are qualified fellas. And I was like, okay, I had nothing to worry about.
Was there a point at the 6... You need to actually sort out this mic if you wouldn't mind.
I know,
bring it
yeah. No, that's wireless. That's not an electrician's problem.
Oh, yeah. I love that. No, I don't see a cable out of that. No, can't sort that, Tom. No. Was there a point at any stage, 6-7 months in, you're going, fuck it, I could be alright if comedy didn't come back?
Absolutely, yeah. But I tell you what, fucking, it's when you get a bit of comedy then, man.
A little taste of the comedy back.
When the virus started lifting and they left us start doing
sneaky jokes,
gigs in car parks.
Yeah. You think he's joking? We'll get onto that in a second.
In the rain. I remember being in a car park with me and Delamere out in Collins, out in the fucking beer garden. Could see my breath after every punchline. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, this is good. Freezing me bollocks off, like, you know, telling jokes, but I was like, this is good, this is where it's at. I don't mind. Actually, the best thing I ever done was go back and work as a Sparks, because I genuinely loved it, and I became better at it as well. I just learned more in the 2 years there being a Sparks than I did my whole apprenticeship. I was just thrown into the deep end on all different jobs, and I genuinely loved it. But then comedy, I'd say the difference is I'm passionate about comedy. I fucking I'm not passionate about conduit or cables or, do you know what I mean, like sockets. I don't mind it. I like doing it. I get some kind of enjoyment out of it. But I love nothing more than writing a brand new show. Having nothing, for me, the biggest buzz is having zero.
Yeah.
Like we've all had this. When I come back from Edinburgh now, you know, and you've zero, you've nothing.
Yeah.
And it's a small bit different this year now because I'm going out on tour with this show, but normally you've nothing when you come back. Zero. No ideas. But you also have an hour show that works so well, inside out. You know it inside out. You know all the jokes, you're improvising bits and everything, and you have nothing. There's no bigger buzz than fucking just starting again from zero.
Brand new copy.
And coming in here, coming into Cork, coming into the CoCo Club, going around the place, trying your little 5 minutes, writing down ideas, and you're building and building and building and building it, and bringing it back to Edinburgh, and getting out the other side, and then having another show, having another big hour. I don't know, it's something. I get a great buzz out of that. Like,
it's unbelievable, isn't it? Like, you know, where the fuck did that come from?
Exactly. Yeah.
Where the fuck did that come from? You know those.
Well, you know where they came from. Fucking getting the train into London Do you know what I mean? On a Wednesday night.
It's a new bit by anyway.
To try fucking 3 minutes, and you end up forgetting fucking 2 minutes of it, and you're going back in the train going, I learned something anyway. Need to probably prepare a small bit more, do you know? But that's where it came from.
Yeah.
You think, where did it come from? It came from, like, I'm fucking, you know, even over here, driving up to fucking Dublin to do 3 gigs in one night when I'm trying to write a show, and going from one club to the next club to the next club, like, you know, doing good, doing a small bit better, and doing bad. Do you know?
Yeah.
That's what it all works.
Yeah. Because that's the thing you can get for the insight. How jokes come about is exactly that. Is that you go, this could be pure and utter shit. This could be pure and utter shit, but it's funny inside my head right now.
Exactly.
You try it and you go, oh, right enough, that was pure shit.
Yeah.
That was pure shit.
Absolutely.
Or you get spoilt in a room like this. This is a gorgeous comedy club that you come in and you're trialing a new bit, and all of a sudden, I can still hear you talking over there, Siobhan. Hi, I can still hear you talking. Drinking since
is she older than you?
Yeah, she's been drinking since noon. It's okay, it's all right.
And the zeros.
The kids are in the car, class. It's fine.
Windows are open.
But the inside is that you trial it and then you get spoiled though.
Yeah.
The trap that can happen is you get spoiled. You come to a room like this, everybody's actually always in great form and they really put it on for the jokes. They're like I was here the last night and I swear there must have been a lad. It must be his first ever time either out of the house or in a comedy club. But every time I hit anything that was remotely funny, he'd go, "Come on, Tom, bye."
No laughter, just good man, Tom.
Come on, Tom, bye. And after a while, I was like, yeah, I am a fucking good man.
Yeah.
But I was trying some new bits in between. I was going, fuck, that is ready for the road. But I know for a fact that bollock sent me down the fucking wrong way because they were all piping it. They were all going, he's right. She didn't hear a fucking word hardly what I was said.
Yeah.
And yet, I came away driving up the road going, put that one in the can with the other 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We're ready to go. Not at all. I know for a fact if I try it again tonight, somebody will go, that could have been better. Yeah. Do you know?
It's the joys of it though, yeah?
It is the joys when you craft that bit out the other end.
Yeah.
But I love the notion, like you said, you weren't passionate about fucking being an electrician. I love the notion of some fella being a Sparks.
Yeah.
And fucking loving it.
They're there.
Are they?
Yeah, loads of them. And they're amazing. They take such pride in their work and they're quite fucking OCD, I would say, about
yes.
the whole thing.
That's good for being an electrician.
I would have been a little bit like that about things. Even still now when I'm going backstage at gigs, man, even this shit here now is annoying. That's annoying the fuck out of me. The way they ran the cables up the wall there.
I'm going to turn the camera around for that.
Like, have a small bit of fucking cop on, you know what I mean? That's just fucking terrible, like, you know? So...
That has been sitting in your heart for 25 minutes, hasn't it?
I can even see at the back of the room just how messy it is there. Like, the cable management is not a hard job either, you know? It's not a fucking skill. It's very hard. It's very easy to make stuff look neat and tidy, do you know what I mean?
I love
what? No passion. I love that passion, man. I had a bit like that when I was a Sparks, like run, even if you can't see it. I was the kind of person above ceilings to be fellas, fucking leave it there. I'm like, no, we'll make it fucking look nice for the mice or whatever, like, you know. I'll make it look, I'll have everything in a straight line. Do you?
Oh, of course.
Where is it? London. Okay. Yeah.
You can pick up a
different regs in London. Sorry, can't help you. No, I'm not in short.
Because there is that notion. I can't see it from my house.
Yeah.
That was always the line when I was in the
heard that one a couple of times.
I can't see it from my fucking house. You're
like, yeah, but it's live and it's probably going to kill somebody. You know. Yeah.
Still can't see it from my house. It's okay.
Yeah.
Because I had there was a motion nearly not put, but there was this will tell you, to give you a brief insight. I opened at the top of the show saying how nobody dislikes Chris Kent, and this is case in point. This is a perfect example of how nobody has a bad word to say about him, and comedians have fucking loads of bad words to say.
Yeah, they do.
But it was your first Vicar Street. I don't know if you know this. It was your first Vicar Street you were doing, and it was close to selling out. Like it was close, maybe a couple of weeks out. And a gang of comedians who we wouldn't all be friendly. We're friendly, but we'd not hang out with each other. We all messaged each other to blanket bomb all our social medias.
Yeah.
With your ticket link.
Yeah.
You have to go see Chris Kent. You have to just go see Chris Kent. I've never seen that done before. Fucking haven't seen it done since, just saying.
Oh no, I was emotional about that, man. I was
Were you?
like,
You knew about it, so.
Well, I got about.
I mean, you didn't thank me one.
I thank all. Thank you, Tom. I got about fucking 80 mentions and stories, and I was like, fucking hell, what's happening here? It was all comedians saying go to the show, yeah. So I was very happy about it.
Did it work?
It did work, yeah.
Sold out?
Yeah. It didn't sell out, no, Victory didn't sell out last year, but this year is sold out, so nearly. This one is nearly gone.
Class.
Doing a second one, which I like. I just like when my anxiety goes down, I love to ramp it up. I just fucking, let's see if we can do another.
Yeah. Just.
Yeah. Let's try and sell another 1,000 seats there, sure. Fuck it, why
Heaven
not?
forbid you'd have at least one full night of sleep.
But that's one thing that going back to work actually fucking helped. I'm not afraid of it anymore. I don't give a shit. If worst comes to the worst, if I have to go back, honest to God, I was only talking to a fella from my job this morning. I'd get work in 2 weeks if I had to. Do you know what I mean? I'd be back on a site in 2 weeks. So that's very freeing for me in comedy to go, I love it and I want to make it work. But at the same time, if I have to go back to work, I have to go back to work. It doesn't bother me anymore.
That's class.
It doesn't bother me at all going back. Obviously, I'd rather do this. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't bother me anymore. I can do it. I'm taking chances. Now I'm a bit more like, fuck it. In the past, I would have been like, oh, Jesus Christ. I remember doing the Everyman. And they asked me to do the Everyman, my agent. And I was like, fuck. Like, I did like fucking the small room in the Opera House, which is 80 seats. And I did some other, and it sold out. And then I did something over in the Crane Lane, which is like 100 seats.
Yes.
And then my fucking agent was like, try the Everyman. I was like, you're fucking having a laugh, like. And it nearly sold out. It was like, there was nearly 600 people there or something the first time round. Suddenly I was like, okay, this is a couple of years ago. Maybe there's something. But I'd still be a small bit like, one thing since I went back from work. As soon as they mention anything to me, I go, yeah, throw it on. I think there's another Vicar Street there, put it on. Fucking, what's the worst that can happen? They go, oh fuck it, that didn't sell, we have to move it or we have to pull it. Like, that's really the worst that can happen. Like, you know? And it'll never fucking happen if you don't let it happen. It'll never, do you know what I mean? That's one way it's definitely not going to sell out, is if you go, fuck it, don't bother putting it on.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed not to sell out.
That's some inspirational shit right there. That's, isn't it? Isn't it though?
100% of the time it won't sell out if it's not fucking on. Do you know what I mean? And you can't look at the seats that are not there. It's the people that come to see you. Like, you know, some comedians, I've played to fucking 2 people a couple of times. 4 people. Me and Eleanor Tiernan did a gig to 2 fucking people in London, a couple, and we were like, we kind of had to. No, it's not. You've changed.
That would be amazing.
You've changed.
If they were back.
It isn't. No, they were Irish. They were Irish. Are you Irish as well? Okay, sorry. I heard an accent earlier. What was that? Kiwi. I was going to guess. Look at that. I've been all. Yeah.
I can't see, but don't show it to me anyway. I'm only the fucking host of the show.
It's a Maori tattoo.
Oh yeah, because you're Maori descent, all right? Yeah. From Knocknaheeny.
Of course I am. And my Irish on my arm, and my Maori. That was a bad, isn't it? That's bad. But I'm trying to get that covered up.
Just put another fucking Maori tattoo on.
Yeah, why not?
To bring your needles with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that one's bad. That was bad. Anyway, that's another podcast.
It is.
But no, genuinely, that's the way I'm looking at things now, man. I'm fucking going for everything, absolutely everything, and I'm just saying, yeah, put it on, fuck it, go for it.
I know, we're literally gigging together for 3 different weird things,
and it works out, you know.
That's class, because there seems to be a mystique sometimes around comedians, like from a comedian's point of view too. You kind of see comedians, you're like, what the fuck, where did it, how does? But with you're the most transparent person. You will just turn around and just go, I'll tell you exactly how I did it.
I've no problem helping, and like I said this to you last night, you were on about fucking, you know, anything at all that I learned from social media or anything that I, you know, learned or any rooms I've been in, I'm more than happy to pass on the knowledge, because there is a bit of that industry, the comedy is a bit like, it's a very pull the ladder up there, just fucking get up here. It's fucking really cool up here. Get the ladder up, like, you know. But
the wiring is class up here. You should come up and have a look.
I'm like, fucking come up, boy. Come on up. And if they're 9, I'll fucking push them off the edge, you know. I'd be like, fuck it. Just because you're up here doesn't mean I can't punch you, like, you know. So there's no point in them being down there. I don't get that mentality at all. And I'm not a fan of everyone's comedy, and I wouldn't be like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
Comedy is subjective and all that. And that's probably another thing, to be honest with you, that you said is the social media and what made the difference. I think it was fucking it sounds wank, you know, but properly believing in myself for the first time since I did it. Always did the gigs, always had loads of praise from other comedians and Tommy Tiernan and James Acaster quotes, but really deep down I was like, fuck it, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sell that out. I'm not going to do that. And that's my mind changed. I just went, fucking, why wouldn't you Why wouldn't you be able to do that?
What was that snap then? What changed your mind? Was it 2 years working?
A little bit of that, like, and a little bit of fuck it, like, what's the point in, you know, you're thinking yourself out of stuff, like, you're blocking yourself, you're going fucking, do you know what I mean? Like, what is it? Age as well, yeah, absolutely. You care less what other people think, because in the past you're like, fuck, could I do, just say for instance, now I'm doing a big gig in fucking Waterford now this time round, I'm doing, like, a couple of years ago, I go, nah, play safe, go back to this, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The one that we sell out, the 100 seat, go back to that, keep going back to that. And then I was like, because I'd be afraid of going into the big one and fucking 70 people turning up and looking like an arsehole in a big huge room. But no, I wouldn't. I'd be delighted. No, I wouldn't care if 70 people turned up, and I wouldn't care what other comedians think about it. I go out and make a joke about it, and I do all the time. When I go to the theatre and there's fucking no one in it, I'd be like, Jesus, like I'm at the end of a game of Guess Who here, man, with all the fucking seats I'm after flicking down. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
And I get to know the rest of it, make a joke about it, point it out, like, you know.
Yeah.
But that's a bit of I was kind of listening to a bit of fucking just like, I like Eckhart Tolle. He's very about being in the moment and all that, like, you know.
Yeah.
And just believing in it, and that's kind of it, really.
I reckon if we actually record, like you just telling, believe in yourself, boy. Yeah. I reckon the Cork.
I don't know.
Cork one, we could sell it, just mindfulness shit. Like we just sell it all over the world because there's a docile.
I don't know. My voice isn't motivated enough to do that.
Oh God, I think it is. You see, this is what I wanted to get around to doing. I've known you this long, and I've never once. Every person from your neck of the woods in Cork speaks quite harshly and strongly and quickly. What happened to say that you speak very, like, there is not a misplaced fucking vowel? Was there somebody beating you in school, or how did it come about? Like,
I'll tell you, my mum and dad were always like, Jesus, he's very fucking laid back altogether, this fella. And I was a kind of a thing about me, like, you know, I'm very laid back, very relaxed and all that. But also, when I started doing comedy in Cork, I actually look back at an old video of me and God, and I'm speaking way faster in the video. But I think what happened was I started basically when I was gigging in Dublin, I was very paranoid, and in London and places like that, I was very paranoid about them not understanding my accent because I believed it was very strong, and I did talk a bit. It would have been the same, but I talked faster.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was paranoid about that, and then I started slowing down a bit. On stage, and then that just became my fucking style. And then I was up and down to fucking Dublin with a comedian called Jason Coughlin. Doesn't do it anymore now, brilliant. And we were just sharing stories in the car, and he was like, fuck, you have to tell that on stage, man. And I was like, I don't know, that's not really a joke though. He's like, you fucking have to tell that story, man. And then he'd tell the other guy in Cork, Brian from Sid Limits, he goes, he has this great story about his fucking dad or his mum, man, get him to tell it. And then Brian was like, you're telling that story. And then I tried to tell the story, didn't even add any jokes to it, and it just kind of, people laughed at it. So I was like, this is fucking great. Like, I'll just tell the stories. And that's kind of how I just started talking slowly, and you know what I mean, the style or whatever. But also, not everyone in Knocknaheeny talks like that. That's one thing I will say. Do you know the other reason? You only remember the other people because they're so fucking memorable. Like, and my mum and dad don't talk like that. My brother doesn't really talk like that. Like, you know. But fucking loads of them do. Like, and I'm like, I never talk like that. Even when I was from that area, like, you know, when I lived there, I never talked like that. Maybe my accent got a small bit less harsh when I moved to England and Dublin, but also, like, I had material about this before about people thinking that you're hard because you're from Knocknaheeny, like, you know,
right.
people assuming I can fight because I'm from Knocknaheeny, like, there's a fella laughing his head off there now, right? Where are you from? Ballincollig, yeah, no, but you know what? But people make an assumption that you're hard, and what insulted me was I used to box for years, and they didn't take that into account at all. And I was okay at boxing, but like they were like, no, he's from Knocknaheeny, that's the thing, you know?
Yeah.
But also, I'm not hard because I'm from Knocknaheeny, blah, blah. I'm aware of that, but there's an other side of the coin, I think, and not just Knocknaheeny, I'm using it as an example. There's another side of the coin where I think it's even more dangerous, where people up there and people from disadvantaged areas and are walking around believe in that.
Okay, right.
Than themselves.
That's a very dangerous place to be.
And they're not. And it's like a persona they have to put on, and they're walking around town like that, and they're getting fucking stalking fellas, and do you know what I mean? Like, they'll get battered one of these nights because a persona can't fight. You know what I mean? Like, you can't throw it
You
deep.
can't send it out ahead of you there to knock somebody out.
An accent can't hurt you, like, you know what I mean? So I am able to look after myself. Like, you know, I can like.
You can box, yeah.
I used to box, and not very successfully, but for a couple of years, I loved that as well. I was genuinely passionate about that as well. I loved it, but yeah, I think that's a more dangerous side of the coin. It's people from these young fellas. I see them out there, and look, I wouldn't fucking go near them either at the same time. But they're all probably a bit mad. Some of them, but there's some of them that have to go. I better be mad.
Yeah.
I better pretend I'm mad. So I'm walking around this fucking. You know what I mean? And that must be exhausting, actually, to be honest.
How do you keep? Because I mean, there's so many lads have come through the Cork scene or whatever, and there's always seem to be when they go abroad or go abroad, they go to Waterford and Dublin, like these kind of places.
Yeah.
But they absolutely bang the Cork drum like nobody's fucking business.
Yeah.
But for some reason, you're technically interracial with a wife from Tipperary, like you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I'm saying you'd never like there's no mistaking what part of the country you're from. But at the same time, you've never banged the Cork drum.
No,
like
I like that, and I like as well in Ireland when I'm gigging away as well. Like I do have material about being Irish and stuff like that. We all
you have to
do.
dress the elephant in the room.
But I do. I prefer not addressing it at all if I can and talk. But that does leave very English people confused a lot of the time.
They're nodding. They understand. They're like,
I don't know. Well, okay, yeah. He's not telling me. I think he's from a different place. But so I don't feel like I need to fucking tell everybody. Like, you know what I mean? So we're all here. I don't have to explain why I'm. Do you know what I mean? Why I'm here and where I'm from and all that.
Yeah. But in all fairness, like, were your parents Cork? Pure Cork?
Yeah. And my mum and dad are pure Cork. My mum is born in England and she still has kind of family in England, but she's pure Cork. Like, moved over here when she was a kid, pretty much. Like, you know, and my dad's, they're all pure Cork. They don't like leaving Cork.
That new road has tied them in nicely out there too, hasn't it?
I used to come up like, sure, they're basically living in Apple computers now. I don't know if you've been up the north side, like, what fucking Apple is just getting bigger and bigger.
Our parents are living tax free up there as well.
My mother's house would be in the fucking canteen at this point, like, you know. But they love Cork, man, and they used to come and visit me in Dublin. Every time they come and visit me in Dublin, I was like, "Ma'am, Dublin's grand," and they're from Knocknaheeny. I've seen out my fucking window shit that, like, you know. That's what I was saying. Like, I used to have a bit about that. Like, you don't need a TV around here, but just fucking look out the window. There's something happening all the time, you know. And she'd be like, "She's not going to Dublin." "Oh no, fuck that." And I'm like, "Dublin's grand, ma'am. Dublin is grand."
You lived in Rathmines.
I lived in Rathmines.
A posh part of fucking Dublin.
Exactly. But then I bought my mum and dad to Rathmines, right? That's great, isn't it?
There's a cheesemonger.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I was like, "Ma'am, it's grand." And then we're leaving Rathmines. We're walking into town. This fella across the road is going fucking berserk, throwing his shopping everywhere. Fucked a chicken over the road and a fucking. My mother was like, "It's grand, is it?" "Yeah, it's grand." Like, every time they've been up there, I stayed in the Laughter Lounge apartment, which is a fucking
fair enough. That is fucking ropey.
And I had my mum and dad in that place, and that was like, all right. There's addicts sitting on your step when you go home. You're like, "Sorry there, boys," and they're
somebody eating a cat at the door.
They your fucking way, like. But there's always been a row or a fight or something mad going on.
I get it. We talked about your lovely gigs because I'm aware we only have a finite existence here on stage, but the lovely gigs, obviously Vicar Street selling out, the Everyman selling out. Fucking hell, you're going to sell out the Royal Theatre in Waterford as well?
I hope so. Yeah,
you will. Yeah, I'll make that happen. I'll make a call. Yeah, I'll make a call. But there's nobody in this room wants to hear about you selling out.
No.
Gorgeous theatres, amazing audience members, standing ovations, flowers getting thrown on stage, because that happens all the time to you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Tell me a fucking mental gig, a
couple of mental gigs.
Yeah, give me a mental gig, just for everybody here.
So also the touring doesn't. This is about my 5th tour or something like that, and it's my 8th show or 9th show that I wrote. So
by the way, that's fucking incredible. There's fellas in their 90s don't have fucking 8 solid hours written and produced. So, that gets a round of applause.
But it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. You know, my first tour was 8 dates long. 8 dates. You wouldn't even call it a tour, but I just wanted to.
It was a drive.
It was a fucking, and 2 of them got pulled.
Right. Yeah. Been there.
So that'll tell you. And you're turning up to some venues and they're like, "Oh, we've just forgot to sell any tickets."
Yeah.
As in we forgot to physically sell them. And then you turn them. Now you give your poster to some venues and you leave a little blank space down the bottom to you fill that in now. Like that's a really fucking easy thing to do. You turn up, man. Kilkenny's plastered and posters, man. Blank space under every. They just didn't bother filling in the fucking blank bit, you know. Chris Kent is somewhere. I don't know where.
Sometime.
Fucking guessing game, like, you know. Bad gigs. I have a few bad gigs, man. I'll tell you one or two. Jason Coughlin 100% threw me under the bus one day. So basically, there was some kind of benefit or charity gig in town. Can't exactly remember what it was. He goes, "Will you go on with me? It might be awkward." I said, "Yeah, I'll do a spot with you, man." I was fairly green at the time. I was going, "Yeah, no problem." So basically, I turn up. Jason isn't there. No sign of Jason. There's a band there. And I'm like, okay, there's a sparse amount of people in the room. And I said, "Will you go on before Jason?" "He's not here. You'll have to go on." I went on. I tried to do the gig. Wasn't going very well. I remember I used to do a joke about Bono at the time. Forgive the joke now, but it was something like, "Do you know, I fucking hate Bono. I hate him so much I've stopped sponsoring a child in Africa."
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That was my joke, right?
That's not bad.
I heard one person laughing at the back of the room, and it was Jason Coughlin, right? And I got off the stage, man, and I don't know how it happened, but they were playing the charity was for something. They were playing like a feature length. I didn't know. But I was standing on the stage, and it was like it was like a troca ad was happening, like, you know. So it was like I was in a troca ad. I was in a troca ad telling that joke, you know. But I didn't know. I just saw the lights on me. I thought the fucking lights are a bit bright here, and I came down. And it was some kind of appeal ad, and it was being blasted onto. I was in the fucking thing, like, you know. So that was one gig that wasn't great. I've done another few. I did another one in the Silver Springs Hotel. Cork promoter Brian Collin. All the Collins, actually. No, it was Coughlin and Collin. It's the same name.
Same name.
Jason Coughlin and Brian Collin, right? But Brian, lovely man, runs a comedy club in Cork. I went, right, do you want to do a benefit gig? Another benefit gig for men's health. It was a Nivea testicular cancer thing. Silver Springs Hotel. About 300 people in the room. Never played to that many people in my life. George Hook was hosting a kind of a chat show format. Nah, tell me now. And he had fucking Ray Houghton on, right? Before I went on, he had Ray Houghton on, and Ray Houghton was talking.
Hold on, you were following the two by... Okay,
yeah, exactly. Oh. We're wrong already, all right? So he had Ray Houghton on, and fucking 300 men in the room now, laughing, fucking talking about scoring against England, talking about playing for Celtic, and they were like, "You're up now next, like, you're going up now after them." And I wasn't being interviewed, I was just doing straight stand-up.
Yeah.
And then George Hook, George was like, "Before you go, Ray, tell us about Hillsborough." Yeah. Fucking the darkest day in football history.
Okay, for anybody going, "I don't know anything about football," a lot of people died at a game.
A lot of people died, and he told a harrowing story. He was there on the day, and I was like, I never saw an emotion flip so quickly in a room, like the men nearly crying, and then fucking George Hook was like, "And now we have a comedian," and I was walking up from the back of the room, and I said, "Jesus, great to be in a packed room," and I didn't mean that as a joke, but they took it as a joke. They actually laughed, to be fair.
Cool.
But it was just an awkward gig, you know, like standing in a coffin at a funeral telling jokes. So that was another awful gig.
Did you ever get offered like those kind of gigs? I got a message the other day to do a wedding, and I was like,
"No,
I need to tattoo that somewhere on my fucking face and put it in my profile picture that I would never do a wedding, because comedy only falls completely asunder where comedy has no fucking business."
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
You need to want to watch
testicular
comedy.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Trochra.
Yeah, there's another one. Now, I did actual jokes about this. This is probably the worst death I've ever had in my life.
Lovely.
And it was when I was living in Dublin in Rat Mines, and I was like, all day now. One of them, writing jokes all day. I had a new show coming up. I was like, I'm trying all these fucking jokes now tonight, man. I don't give a shit what happens. I'm trying them all. And I was that's one thing. I would die in my arse for 15 minutes. I wouldn't go back to an old joke ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'd rather do that. But anyway, I went in on this particular night, and Halfpenny Bridge, Dublin, Simon O'Keefe was hosting. Fucking 14, 15 people in the audience, maybe more. About 4 of them had English.
That's
I'm
the cruel thing about gigging in Dublin.
Still blaming
midweek,
myself, like, you know. I'm still going, fuck it, they're tough tonight, like, you know. Like I didn't have another language to hand, you know what I mean? But I remember a lady explaining when I'm like, she was looking at me, and she was like, translate. She was translating to her friend, and her friend was like, fucking rolling her eyes back at me, like, you know, that's being unfunny in 2 languages there, Tom. In a matter of moments, and it was the most devastating heckle I've ever got in my life, and I'll never forget it in my life as long as I live. So towards the end of the gig, I was like, fuck it, I don't know what to do anymore, lads. I just admitted defeat out loud on the stage, and I was like, to the promoter at the back of the room, I was like, Simon, I don't know, mate, what to do now anymore. My mouth was gone all dry, and I was like, I don't know what to do, man, I don't know. And a lady she stood up to make the heckle, which was worse, you know.
Oh Lord.
She stood up and she was like, can somebody please help him? That's the joke, yeah. That happened. That gig happened, yeah. I was so devastated, man. I'm normally... I couldn't even... I had to put my jacket on and go home. I couldn't talk to anybody. I couldn't sleep when I went home, actually. It was such a deathly death.
Yeah.
Now, with experience, I go, Chris, no one was speaking English. Like, you're probably all right. You know what I mean? But I was contemplating my fucking comedy career, and I went home and I couldn't fucking sleep. I had a load of DVDs. I watched Michael Fassbender's Hunger for some reason. That was just unopened.
There's something metaphoric in that,
was
alright.
unopened for some reason. I stuffed my face with the whole thing as well. I was just watching this fucking thing. I stayed awake till about 4 o'clock in the morning, and it took me 2 or 3 fucking weeks to just stop the memory of that gig happening.
Yeah.
And I've done countless corporates that were horrible for people. Whereas now, if I do them now, today, someone pays for a corporate, if I know myself straight away, if this is not good, if the settings aren't great, I'm much better now at separating myself from it.
Yes.
It's fucking water off a duck's back. If someone asks me to come and do a gig and you're like, alright, yeah, the room was on fire actually, so that was probably one of the main problems. There's a massive fire while I was on, you know? Where I was like, years ago I'd be like, fuck it, they didn't get that bit, you know? I'm like, the fire wouldn't even occur to me, like, you know? But no, I'm way better at separating myself from them, like, you know? And, you know, for the corporate gigs, I've done corporate gigs in the past, you think it's good money, you're going, this is fucking brilliant, this is fucking a couple of weeks' wages here to do 20 minutes from a load of builders from London who build, they outfitted Nero, do you know Nero? Nero Coffee. Yeah. They met me in the morning of the gig, 10 o'clock in the morning, and 2 of the lads met me and were like, the boys are in the pub, and I was like, okay, alarm bells are ringing here now. They're in the pub.
What time is the gig
10 in the morning. They were in the pub in the airport, they're all flying over to Ireland. Nero Coffee, fucking fit out arseholes. And they were like, I wasn't a roasty comedian back then. They were like, can you say to Dave he's got gout? Ask him about his gout. And I'm like, alright, yeah. And John, his wife has left him, if you could mention that. I'm like, that's just pretty fucking lousy on John, like, you know. And Frank, anything you want, you go to Frank, okay? Anything you want, Frank will get you anything. I remember dying on my arse and taking it personally, but I was in a room, in a pub. No one was looking at me. There was people sitting at tables talking to each other.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? Like fucking in boots, and there was obviously arseholes. They were out of their fucking minds. And I'm there with a microphone trying to do fucking comedy to them, you know what I mean? And you're just, at that point you're going, I need to get paid. I have to do 20 minutes here. That's my kind of goal. I'm going, fuck what happened? I'm going to 20, but you're dying inside, like, because it's going so badly, you know?
But the pride is that you're taking their money.
And I remember just like, yeah, the pride is you're taking their money, but there was times where I was like, I'd give you back twice the money now to take the memory out of my head, you know? that money, it doesn't warrant the effects that it has on my mental health, you know what I mean? But no, I remember at the end of that gig just going, fuck Costa, and everybody laughed, you know? That was like, that was how easy it was, really. I was overthinking it, you know?
The one that springs to mind is because I'm in Cork. I was doing the LV, and the crack house, but they'd moved it to a room upstairs and it was still nice, and the woman that was running it, she Anne-Marie, do you remember Anne-Marie? Anne-Marie, she was fucking great. She actually had a world famous laugh. Anne-Marie Lewis. She was it was ludicrous. Ludicrous.
Great Anne-Marie impression there.
But Anne-Marie, the bollocks, she said, you're coming down. Sure, come down a bit earlier. I'll another gig out in Douglas for you. Sure, a hungry young comedian started going, double bubble, 2 gigs on the one fucking evening. This is tremendous. And she kind of said it out the side of her mouth, and you know, if you were more aware of body language and not as hungry, I would have spotted that she was being a total bollocks. Because I didn't even ask where in Douglas this could be, because there is no venue, but we rock up, and my girlfriend, now wife at the time, went, I smell a rat here, Tom.
Yeah.
I know when a woman's acting the bollocks.
Right.
And she's acting the bollocks because she's laughing her fucking head off incessantly at nothing at all. I said, but sure, that's Anne-Marie anyway, like.
Yeah.
But she knew what she was fucking doing. She brought me this sneaky little hall that was hidden in behind like fucking bushes somewhere in Douglas, and just like pulled it back like something out of the fucking Quest for the Holy Grail. And it was the AGM for the ICA, the Irish Country Women's Association of Ireland. And how I knew she was worth marrying at that point is that my wife's face turned fucking beetroot laughing, and a vein the size of a hydraulic hose. And she did that silent laugh. She went, oh, this is going to be fucking disgusting.
Yeah. Who's the gig for again?
This is for Anne-Marie Lewis.
Right,
but it was for the ICA.
Yeah. Right.
And there was fucking 200 fucking blue rinse fucking perms. They had a Burko boiler ticking over in the back. There was...
Yeah.
And I looked on, and there was a spoon playing father and daughter couple on stage, and I was to go on between them and this woman. They rocked it. They ripped the fucking roof off the place. They were fucking. And I was only doing comedy about fucking 2 years at this stage. She went, right, just go up and do 20 minutes. Fucking 1 minute would have been enough for these people. And sure, I hardly had 20 minutes. And my wife is holding onto the wall at this stage. There's sweat coming out of her fucking ears. She goes, go get him, Tom. Go get him.
Nice.
And I went, the pain, it's still to this day, I'm saying this and we're all having a great laugh, but there's the actual hairs on my fucking chest are standing up right now. I had to walk the full length of the hall. You could hear my shoes. Because these didn't come for comedy. They came for spoon playing and the like. Yeah. And I tipped to, and I suppose they heard comedy and they figured it'd be a bit of Brendan Grace talking about them.
Yeah.
Or fucking Hal Roach talking about the mother-in-law. I get up there and I'm straight into dick jokes. Yeah. I'm straight into I last 6 minutes.
6 is what you lasted, yeah.
And I'm going, fuck you. I'm fucking here, I'm getting paid. I look down, I see my wife and Anne-Marie at the back, like it's something apocalyptic is happening on their faces. And I swear on my life, there's a family of banjo players coming on next. They're lined up along the wall, kind of going, fuck's sake, looking at the watch going, who's this cunt dying up here, like, right? The 6-year-old, who had the face of a 46-year-old, slung his banjo around his back and walked up and went, fair play to you, Tom.
No.
I swear to God, tapped me on the shoulder and put it back in the mic stand. I shook hands, I genuflected in front of him. I don't know what.
Yeah. Thanks.
And to this day, I can't shake it because I never, ever, I haven't met Anne-Marie since. I haven't met the ICA since. I cannot banish
They're all
this.
dead, that's why. So take some comfort in that.
Yeah. The Burko boiler is still fucking going.
They're dead, over there. Doesn't matter, man. The Burko boiler stays. You go. You know?
We have a mutual love and respect for one man, the late great Billy Anderson. He gave me my start in stand-up comedy.
Beautiful man, yeah.
Fucking one of the greatest people you could have ever met. American chap. He gave me a start in stand-up comedy in the Crack House. I got led to it by work colleagues who went, and I had it in my notion. Like people think you get brought to a comedy club jokingly and there's open mic and you get up to do it. Do you fuck? You go away and do 6 weeks of work first and then you be allowed on the stage. Yeah. And that's basically what Billy told me on the night. But he became a mentor really because he knew he'd such a fucking back catalogue of comedy.
Real comedy nerd.
Like a comedy nerd. He studied comedy actually in Atlanta and everything. But like in all the high intelligence of that brilliant man, fuck me, the silly things he used to fuck. He was here about 11 years and he was such an American. Every time I go to give him a spin anywhere, he'd always sit on my lap. because he hadn't worked out the left and right of the. Start telling me, hey, I'm not gay, okay? I'm like, oh, okay, all right, but I know for a fact because you hung out with him even more as well.
Yeah, loads,
give me for the memory of the great man. Give us one of your. Billy Anderson was just
great friend of ours.
He looked, and this is his own self-description, was fat Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
That's what he was. If Michael J. Fox just went, that was him. It really was. He had the hair, Lego hair.
Yeah.
He had the fucking, oh my God, but everything was at 250 miles an hour.
Yeah, great energy.
Incredible bloke.
But like that now with the whole car thing, I've been in trips with him and I'm like fucking about to pull out and I'm like, I'm alright there, Billy. This side? No, this side. Yeah, this side. The side with the foot pat on it, you know? Okay. So, lovely man. I did a trip to America with him. Beautiful trip to America with him. Just gorgeous gigs. He'd set up a gig in a place in Carolina, Theatre 99.
Oh, yeah.
Did you weren't over there, yet?
No, it was Jason was with you.
Jason and fucking Gordon Rothschild, so it was, yeah. Brilliant gig. Could have fucking filled the place 3 or 4 times. You know, Paddy's Day, Irish Invasion. I got caught speeding over there loads of times, getting pulled over by the cops, looking at my big fucking Irish fucking pamphlet, you know.
This is back when we had the pamphlet, remember that?
Yeah, and that's genuine. This genuinely happened. This guy opened up the big book. He was like,
the pink book, yeah.
You're not in Iceland now, boy. And I was like, that's not Iceland, that's Ireland. But anyway, but he left me alone. Billy was there, God rest him, and I remember Billy. I don't know why. So Billy was lovely. There were some people over there, friends of friends, that were not so lovely. A little bit racist, let's say. To say the slightest, because they were saying terribly racist things to us.
That tends to be it, all right.
Yeah. Had a bit of a clue that these guys might be racist, you know. But all the racist talk. So they were trying to I don't know what they thought about Ireland. These guys. So first of all, beautiful gig, North Carolina. Then we drove up to a place called Wilmington, and then that was another amazing gig. We drove home. I went over there for the Knights of Columbus, which is this kind of weird, fucking mad.
They're like the Masons, but they're like Irishy kind of,
And so I did the pay back then because they flew me over. Was I do a gig for them in the fucking Irish little centre? It was one of the weirdest gigs I've ever done. Guy walking around beforehand with a sword, doing a lap, and a child following him, and everyone now from aged fucking 4 to death in the crowd, you know. Oxygen tanks and fucking pushchairs, you know what I mean? And Billy was like, I can't host, my geography teacher's here. And I'm like,
he's what, his geography teacher?
His geography teacher was there. I was like, he left school like 20 fucking years ago, like, you know, who gives a fuck what your geography teacher thinks? So he wouldn't do the gig. Jason Coughlin had to host it. They were all kind of going, oh, the priest is in, be careful. And it was all kind of going a little bit weird, let's just say.
Okay.
But everyone, they were playing it too tentatively. This is the problem. They were playing it too tentatively, and then I had the advantage of reading the room. I was like, fuck these cunts now. Absolutely. Swear more. Do the dirtiest stuff you can. They have no respect at all for the gig. There was phones going off. Hello? And not even addressing it. And I was like, you know what, now fuck this. I'll never forget it, man. I was up and I was on stage about 2 minutes, man. The phone rang again and I took the sword off the mantelpiece. And said, do you see that now? I'm going to fuck that and shove that up someone's cock if that phone doesn't... And they
Such
all
a tricky thing to do as well.
Yeah, and they laughed. And anyway, it was a good gig. But that day, that was Paddy's Day, and loads of Irish in Charleston. So he took us out with these guys that were lovely guys, very racist. They were telling us these stories. I won't repeat them for you. I won't tell you what they were. We were drinking all day with them. Well, not drinking all day, but we were drinking all day, and they're trying to impress us. I don't know what they think about Ireland. They maybe think Ireland's a bit of a backwards country or something. Right. They're trying to show off to us. So this guy, horrible, looked like a racist. His car was racist, I'm pretty sure. He drove a big Jeep. He had glasses with a big band on him, you know. Anyway, he was horrible fucker. So he's telling us all these stories, trying to entertain us, you know. And I was kind of nudging Jason Coughlin at the time, and Billy was there, and Jason was there. And I was like, actually, sorry, man, my mother's black. Like, you know. Like, clearly she isn't, right? But he said, yeah, but she ain't. And he said another word. And I was like, well, it's nice time to get away from these people. Billy was not the target of my comment, but Billy took it upon himself and somehow believed that my mother...
probably known you 5 years at this stage.
He pulled Jason Coughlin aside, and I was like, oh, fucking it, I got the wrong person, but I got Billy with this for some reason. I saw Billy looking over with Jason, and like, God damn. And he came over, and she was like, I'm so sorry, man, I did not know your mom was black. And I was like, why would you be sorry that my mom is black, you know? This went on all night, like, him pulling me aside going, I'm so sorry, man, I did not, those guys, I'm so sorry about those guys. But it was a beautiful little prank, but eventually we kind of put him out of his misery, and I was like, I was only joking, man. I was only joking, she's not.
Amazing.
Yeah. But a lovely man, God rest him, an amazing man. He'll be missed forevermore.
Forever, and we're gonna do. There's been a benefit already this year, but we're gonna probably get properly involved next year.
I think so. Yeah. I got to meet his fucking dad. We did a big gig for him in Wexford. Got to meet his dad. Have a big hug with his dad a couple of months ago. Went for dinner with him the next day. Talked about Billy all day with his dad and his partner, and I was just like, beautiful, lovely to share the memory. It's very emotional as well.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and we made some podcasts, me and Billy, so send them on to his dad, and you know.
That's class. One of the greats. We're almost done, and I know we said you don't bang the Cork drum and all the rest of it, but for entertainment purposes, I have found 10 facts about Cork.
I'll just check. My wife might be outside. She's collecting me. So they're running a small bit over, but that's all right. Don't worry.
I have 10 facts about Cork. I don't want anybody shouting them out because you possibly do know them, but I want nothing but, for purely entertainment purposes, I want nothing but absolutely fucking wrong answers as fast as you can. We're going to... Somebody time a minute and a half.
I'll time
90 seconds. 90 seconds, right?
Don't worry. Yeah.
Well, what's her name?
It's on it. Me, Orla.
Orla has it ready to rock. God bless you, Orla. You give me the shout and we will...
In 30 seconds, eh?
Exactly.
Okay.
Wrong answers only. Go, Orla. The first potato in Ireland was planted here by Sir Walter Raleigh around 1588. Where in Cork County, though?
Where in the county did they plant tomatoes?
No, potato.
Yeah, you said to get it wrong. Knocknaheeny.
It fucking was Knocknaheeny. No, it wasn't. It was Youghal. It was St. Colman's Catholic Cathedral in Cove is the largest number of what?
Vape stores.
Apparently it's Carillion Bells. I have no idea what that is. Ronan O'Gara was born where?
Mallow.
Close. America. Anyway, the Jack Lynch Tunnel was named after who?
Paul McGrath.
Class. The Fastneck Rock, Ireland's most southerly point, was at the last point of Ireland's immigrants from Cove to USA would see known as what? What do they call Fastnet?
Fastnet?
Yeah.
Ryanair.
They called it the teardrop, but fair play. Kissing the Blarney Stone is said to bestow a fellow with what?
An STD.
Class. It says gift of the gab, but the reality is Chris is probably closer to the fucking truth. Anybody kiss it?
No.
Yeah, you fucking did.
We know what the locals do.
Oh shit! Dursey Island off the coast of the Beara Peninsula has Ireland's only cable car licensed to carry 3 people and 1 what?
Goat.
That's not bad. It's a goat. Oh, no, it's not. It's a cow. It's a cow. Fuck it. There, we'll plough on, Orla. We'll plough on. Cork is the oldest what club?
Oh, someone give the right answer there. Swingers Club.
That's what I wrote swingers down hoping you would say swingers.
Did you?
Yeah, it's actually Yacht Club. It's the RCYC out in Kinsale. Or no, Crosshaven. The last one, Casey's is closed. Casey's Chippers out in Douglas is closed on Mondays. For what reason? Every Monday.
They're lazy cunts. It's a religious thing, isn't it?
Yeah, they're Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
So I'll take all of those answers absolutely perfect, and we're putting them on Wikipedia tomorrow, and that's what it's going to be. Listen, one more time for my guests, the incredible
Thank
Mr.
you very much.
Chris.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks, Tom.
We have, you know what to do. Follow, if you don't follow us both, follow everything. You can go back and find the old ones and see if we lied about any of those gigs in the older podcasts that we did together. Chris, you've got about 7 tickets left for your nationwide tour, I'd say.
Yeah, a couple more than that, probably.
But if you can't get to the Cork one or anywhere else, go fill out the Royal Theatre and Water is beautiful. That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Take a trip up to Dublin. Remortgage the house and go to Dublin for the weekend.
Yeah.
Part of my tour on a slightly smaller case is over in Coughlin's
please,
/ Collins.
Go and see that. Tom is amazing. Check out his show in Collins.
That'd be
absolutely
amazing.
ripped it last night.
And I'm doing a short set here later of brand new material, and if you want to watch my mouth go dry and possibly a French woman have to explain it to her family why that man is being so stupid on stage, I'll be around here at the CoCo Club one more time. The
A
CoCo
wonderful club.
And the amazing Chris Kent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you very, very, very much to Chris Kent. Cool cat, isn't he? That's why I like that guy so much. We had an absolute belter on Saturday night at the Hill. Oh my lord, it was good. Anyway, hit subscribe, hit the bell. If you can give the 5 stars, if you haven't done already, please do. If it is on Spotify, which most of you are on, or whatever platform you're on, if it's Apple or whatever, maybe you're able to leave a review. I'm not sure exactly what you're allowed to do in the way of reviewing, but if you can give it the top marks, that'd be tremendous. If you want to become a Patreon, there's really easy. Everything you need to know, including last year's special, tickets, everything really is in that link in the show notes. So look it, I can do no more for you. Go on away, enjoy the rest of the weekend. I'll talk to you again next week. Again, naked bliss and thanks.